such a great opportunity that Pytes and New Grid can be together and have a on-site visit to the installation site. Thank you guys. Good to see you guys this morning. Bye bye. Take care. Yeah, you too. Hey guys, we are about to hit the road. We're here.
There's a new version of the software.
Let's open the door. Solar inverters and Pytes batteries.
Okay, so I wanted to just tell you a little bit about the capacities of the various components that we have on the site, and maybe a little bit about why we have as much equipment as we do to support this site. So when we first got here a couple years ago, it was pretty much a mess. This generator was here, really running the whole place. There was equipment in the room was a real mess, and there wasn't anywhere near enough equipment. There was 20 kilowatts of solar on one of the roofs over here, and so we came in and we told the customer, you know, you need a lot of equipment out here. We did a phase one where we added 20 more kilowatts of solar, and we put in, he had maybe 100 kilowatt hours of energy storage. We put in maybe another 50, and we told him that it wasn't going to be enough, but let's operate for about a year and then let's decide what to do next. So we did all that and cleaned the place up. And then we came out again about a year later. We looked at the data. We decided, okay, let's get another 20 kilowatts of solar out here. So we have 60 kilowatts of solar so far, and max out the battery bank to 56 batteries. I think that's 250 kilowatt hours or something like that. And so that's what we have: 60 kilowatts of solar, 250 kilowatt hours of Pytes batteries, a 200 kilowatt generator, which is a little too big. It only really needs to be 100 or 150, but it was already here. And we have 7 12 kW Sol-Arks out here, and that's really what comprises the system. Now what he does out here, and the reason we need that much equipment, is his load in the summertime can be upwards of 400 kilowatt hours a day. So the guy's using an amazing amount of juice. He has 36 tons of AC. He's got a 10 or 15 horsepower three-phase well pump. He has a 10 horsepower fountain and a big swimming pool out there. He does weddings and retreats and stuff like that out here. It's a fairly expensive property. And so he has this big fountain in the back, and of course, you know, it's 10 horsepower running all day and all night. So anyhow, that's the equipment, and that's the load.
Like, this property used to be a gold mine. The previous owner was mining gold on this property. That's what those mounds of dirt are over there. That's the tailings from his mining operation. I use it for other stuff. As you can see, there's lots of soil in the area. So I call this the rec room. It's not really a very good name for it, but
What's the name for the ranch?
Vulture Ranch.
Vulture Ranch. That's a cool name. That's why we saw like vultures on the sky, right?
Well, yeah, you know, see, coming here, the big mountain over there is Vulture Mountain. These are Vulture Peak, and these are the Vulture Mountains. And it's all started by Vulture Mine, which was founded by a guy named Henry Wickenburg, who's the guy who founded the town of Wickenburg here. All right, and then there's a little place called Vulture City, which is the old ghost town. It's all the old buildings and mining equipment from back in the 1860s. And it's open for tourists. You can go over there for $10 and see all that stuff, right? This is where we're going to be hosting events. You know, people can come in here and sit, sit and have a drink, sit and eat food. Little bar here, pool table. Big kitchen over here also, with a commercial type stove. You can run a restaurant with that stove, and this refrigerator. And one for the trees, which take a lot more water. They take about, well, in the hot times of the year, they take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour a day of watering, and a higher volume of water. The cactus plants, which don't require a lot of water, like the saguaros, for example, they don't need that much water. If you give them too much water, they'll actually kill them. And then the other plants, like this bougainvillea here, these guys, that's like a middle system, and they require more watering. So, but the system, the timer on the system, just sends all that out. But of course, it's all powered by everything here is powered by solar. There's no other choice.
Irrigation too.
Irrigation, if it has electricity, it comes from the solar, no matter what it is. You want to charge your phone, you want to run a computer, it's all solar. So, and I think that's going to be hopefully it'll be an attraction for some people, because that's kind of a buzzword now, eco this and eco that, and this is truly an ecosystem here. I mean, it's truly off grid, and you didn't see it, but I have a garden over here. So, and I'm in the process of building a chicken coop right now, so we'll be able to offer our guests fresh garden, lettuce and fresh vegetables, and fresh eggs also. So that's just like an added bonus, right?
Can you please share your experience working with New Grid? How did you guys get connected, and how did you make the decision to have a Pytes battery and Sol-Ark inverter system set up?
I'm not sure how I found New Grid exactly, but so I called those guys up and I asked them to come out here and give me, tell me what they thought. And their first recommendation was redoing that building over there where everything's at now. Because before it was cement block, cement floors. It had louvered windows. It was open. I mean, birds, bugs, dirt, everything could go in and out. So it was quite dirty in there. They says, well, first of all, you got to make this room right. And they wanted to charge me a lot of money for it. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I did that. And then I called them back up and they came out here and they tried to estimate what the, what the system should be, right? So, and they told me, well, you're gonna, if you're really gonna build this thing out, it needs to be here. But it was a lot of money. And I just didn't want to put out that much money all at one time. So I already had 16 batteries, so I got 16 more batteries. And so so that was the hard part really, because they had to take a whole lot of old stuff out of my old room. And there's a lot of just, traditional type of electrical stuff that was no longer useful. So they probably pulled out at least 2 tons of junk, old boxes and pipes and wires and stuff. And they hauled all that away, and then they kind of started from scratch. And as you can see, I think they've done a very professional job out there. And they know their business. They're very sharp. They know, they understand the off-grid requirements, because it's obviously a lot different than on-grid or grid-tied stuff. And which I have a grid-tied system in my house in Phoenix. But anyway, these guys, so they got that in and working, but it just wasn't enough. The Pytes batteries, the maximum amount of batteries you can have is 56 with these particular batteries. So that's what I did. I maxed that out. But that brought it up right up to a level to about what my maximum usage would be here, about 350 kilowatts.
So hi Taylor, this is August from Pytes. Really appreciate we can have this link opportunity together to visit Pytes battery installation on site. Thank you for that. probably we can start from your personal story.
Okay.
Can you please tell us about what kind of connection or what kind of passion inspire you at that moment to make you jump into the renewable energy field?
Sure. Yeah. So I went to school for economics and worked in finance after I graduated school. Just from behind the desk, working in a cubicle, just like most folks are familiar with. And I didn't really find a lot of satisfaction in that personally. And after a certain point in time, wanted to go and do something else. And I had a passion for renewables. And the opportunity came up to work in the off-grid space, which I thought was very appealing. So I've been doing that, ever since the last 7 years or so.
That is wonderful to hear. So I heard a lot of great comments online, especially from Google Map. So many people say you guys are having a first-class job. So my question is, what do you guys do? What is your company and where is your location? And what do you guys specialize in?
Sure. So our group focuses exclusively design, build, off-grid power systems. And there aren't a lot of companies that design and build exclusively off-grid. We're one of several that we know of. And so our work takes us all over the place. We're going up into Alaska, down into Central and South America, coast to coast. And actually a lot of our work, 30% of our book of business is cleaning up the work of other electrical contractors. That's professionals with licenses that try to do off-grid that fail a lot of the time. And so we kind of take the initiative and take the responsibility upon ourselves to really come forward with the best product. We find that off-grid is really a trade in and of itself, and it's kind of unique to the commercial electrical world and the grid tie world. It's got its own set of challenges, and it's got its own set of tools and its own set of just the way we go about designing and building.
So right now I'm really curious about how did you guys build the connection with Pytes team and start using Pytes battery?
Right, so it's actually very interesting the way that we connected with Pytes. First of all, we've got a relationship with NAZ Solar Electric, who's we've been buying products from a long time. But actually the project where we got introduced to Pytes was this project that we're in front of right here. And the customer, he had Pytes on the site already, but he'd been kind of done dirty by a bad contractor. The site wasn't functional. This equipment shelter, which looks really incredible right now, it was just in a really sort of bad state of affairs. And we came in, and he already had 16 batteries on site. And the site needed just a ton more, right? There's 56 batteries here now, and 7 inverters, 7 Sol-Ark 12 inverters. And so we tried to utilize what he already had, the Pytes batteries, the Sol-Ark inverters. He had 4 of them at the time. And we tried to build a system from there. We didn't want to scrap the batteries and scrap the inverters. And so we actually came into using Pytes just through our interaction with this customer, helping him try to fix this site. And it was a really good experience, great technical support from Pytes. They helped us get this site operating with actually several different versions of the e-Box battery. So there's several different vintages on this site, and it's been performing beautifully. We've been using Pytes on a lot of our designs, most of them, frankly, after we commissioned this site maybe about a year ago.
So what about your experience working with Pytes team?
Yeah. So the Pytes team has been very supportive of our efforts, particularly when it came to this system, because it was the first one we did, and we were just trying to get familiar with the tools that we need to interface with the battery, the various ways you interact with the battery with software on your computer. We hadn't done it before, and everyone from Pytes was very helpful, getting us up to speed and getting us the appropriate tools and walking us through how to update the firmware on these batteries and making sure that the inverter system and the battery system were communicating correctly together. After that, it's been fairly, we haven't had a ton of interaction because we got so comfortable with the first installation that we've been able to kind of carry that knowledge forward and just keep putting them in.
So from your professional perspective, what is your opinion on like overall reliability and quality for Pytes battery and the performance compared with the other like battery system or battery choices?
Sure. So we've had nothing but good experiences with all the batteries put in service. That's the E-Box and the V5. Just as it pertains to this site in particular, there's almost 290 kilowatt hours of storage in closed loop with the inverter system, and not a lot of other competitor products can say the same in terms of the amount of storage that you can put behind each inverter. And this site's been operating extremely well. There's a lot of load on the site, and we have no complaints so far. And with the V5 as well. So we've started integrating those into our designs, and all the systems are working well.
So what is the benefits for solar and battery system for customer or the way of living off-grid?
Sure. Well, most of the time when we get approached by a customer, they don't really have a lot of choices. It's usually the grid is so far away. Like this guy, this particular site, the nearest transformer is like 20 miles away, and so he doesn't really have a choice. And so his power system is going to be so much cheaper than it would be to ever entertain to pull in the grid. There's a lot of folks that like the cachet of having off-grid. They don't want to be tied to traditional utilities. They want to have some semblance of resiliency. They don't like to, if things were to go wrong in the world, they want to feel safe. And so we deal with a lot of folks like that as well. But usually it's folks that they have properties that are so far remote that they need our services.
For how long you guys spend on time on completing the whole installation?
Yeah, so this one in particular?
Right.
Yeah, this one, we did it in 2 phases. The first phase took us 2 weeks where, we gutted this entire equipment shelter, took everything out, and we built all this infrastructure back up, and we gave them more solar panels outside instead of their like 25 kilowatts of PV. And so I think that phase took 2 weeks, and then we came back, I want to say 3 or 4 months after that, after he started turning on more electrical loads around the place, realized he needed more equipment, and we gave him another 24 batteries and another 20 kilowatts of PV, and I think we finished that in about 10 days. All the infrastructure was here. So, it's been close to a month that we've probably been on this job site working.
So this is really hard work. But like as installer, how do you guys keep yourself competitive or outstanding in the market? Because there's a lot of selection, especially in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
So how do you make yourself special, make New Grid special?
Yeah, we a lot of our business is by referral, a decent amount of it, well over 50%. And so it's just, it's important that we do the best work that we can do, and the word spreads, and that's how a lot of our business comes to us.
Sounds great. So I heard somebody like your customers are describing you guys as hardworking, knowledgeable professional.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. We definitely we take it very seriously, and all of us like doing this work. It's we're going out to remote locations. It takes us away from our families, and we're working hard in the elements. Not near the creature comforts in town, and so you kind of have to like doing it, or else you're gonna burn out. And so we've got it's a relatively small team, but everyone's passionate, everyone's good, everyone's knowledgeable, everyone's committed, and I think that makes for a good team that builds good stuff.
Like I heard you guys travel like over 300 miles round trip very often. So especially in very harsh environment, is there any takeaways that you want to offer to the other people or installers how they can take care of themselves or travel safety, you know?
Yeah. I guess we're just used to doing it. You have to have the right trucks and trailers and all that kind of stuff for remote work, remote construction work. And you just have to plan the projects right. You can't go in sort of willy-nilly and expect to get it done right. If you're going up to Oregon or Northern California to do a project, I mean, you got to plan it out if you're based in Phoenix. And we do a ton of planning. It's really important for the line of work that we're in.
Do you really have job like far away,
Oh, yeah.
like Oregon State?
We have work in Central and South America, like Alaska,
Right.
East Coast U.S. But in Oregon and Northern California, we do a lot of work up there. We drive up there with our trucks and trailers, and so it's you're talking 1,200 miles up there, and it takes a lot of planning to do that. So.
Yeah, so I heard from Wells just now, you guys are specialized in driving the car.
Yeah, it's like part of the job,
Yes.
part of the job, right?
Yep,
A lot of
yep.
driving.
Thanks for sharing. So as Pytes as manufacturer, we safeguard the safety of the system, safety of the battery. And for installers, is there anything that you do it very frequently, maybe more technical related or products related that you want to share with us?
I think it's just important that you read the installation guidelines and whatever sort of materials available from the manufacturer and engage with their technical support people and make sure that you do it, your installation sort of to the letter of the law of the installation guide, and obviously connected in closed loop with the inverter system, and just observe the behavior of the system after you commission it for a pretty long period of time. You want to make sure the battery gets charged up to 100% and everything good when it does, and that it doesn't discharge too deeply without your generator starting if you're in an off-grid environment. You want to observe all of the key system parameters functioning appropriately and the system cycling before you leave the job site. Like, it's never done when you just light things up and it's working, the guy's got power. There's an extended period of testing that needs to occur after you commission an off-grid project to make sure that everything is working correctly, everything's safe. You have to document it all on video. So,
Thank you so much for great insights.
of course, yes.
Right. Hey guys, I returned back from the journey with New Great team. With Will and Taylor. It was precious experience by really going outside to strike up the conversation with end users, to really experience the way of living to be off-grid or being off-grid. It was wonderful to see Sol-Ark inverters and Pytes battery are working very well, pretty well with each other, and also plus generator as a backup for the 100% off-grid living style. So it was also great to have the chance to do the interview with New Great team to learn some new stuff from them. So thank you so much, guys. One thing is that when we were taking the videos and interviewing, the weather was really hot. It's like everybody was sweating the whole time. It was 114 Fahrenheit degree, which was 45 or 46 Celsius degrees. So it's like super extremely scorching hot. If you guys are nearby Arizona, or if you guys are in Arizona, please stay hydrated. So thank you for watching the video, and please stay tuned with Pytes Energy, and we have more videos are awaiting to be uncovered. We have more stories to share with you guys.